Hi and welcome to Geography Geeks with Mr. Mercer. In this episode we will deal with population change, specifically looking at birth rates. Now, this question could be phrased in many ways. You might be asked to explain why birth rates have risen in an MEDC, for example. This question asks us to look at reasons why birth rates have fallen. Quite frankly, if you can do it for a MEDC example such as Scotland, then with a little revision you'll be able to do it for an LEDC country as well. Right, this question's for 6 marks and it asks us to, as you can plainly see, give reasons. Therefore we can use language such as because, or for the reason that, or due to in our answers. When you're checking your work, if you see 6 becauses neatly stacked up on top of each other, then you know you've given 6 explanations. I would always advise using a simple answer structure. So here's our starter. Births have fallen because. Now, the reason births have fallen are multiple and many, and your teacher may have given you lots of other examples that I'm not going to include in this video. To get 6 on the trot is a challenge in the time, so you need to revise these reasons well. I would always start off with the status of women having been improved. From 1901, as you can see the graph states, to 2011, that's over 100 years, and in that period of time, the status of women has been greatly improved. Women have much greater degree of independence and control over whether they wish to have children and at what time they wish to have children. That is linked to, of course, the presence of sex education in schools and an awareness and knowledge of family planning. That is also linked to the free distribution and free availability of contraception in our country. Now, because females are better educated, and males too, people are much more aware of the fact that children are likely to be expensive, and we refer to that as an economic burden, that children will be an economic burden. And that's largely linked to a kind of wider cultural change that's taken place in society, where it is no longer seen as necessary to a marriage that children be produced. That children are no longer seen as a absolutely necessary part of married life. Now, as women have become better educated and have had freer access to further education, they have gained careers. And with those careers, ladies and their partners have started to delay plans to have children, largely due to the fact that children are an economic burden. As a result, the birth rate falls. Women are waiting longer to have children. Now, there is a second mark to be had if you want to make the point that as men and women are waiting longer in their lives to have children, they are in that process losing fertility. So, as women and men wait for a longer period of time so they can have a career, they are also at the same time becoming less fertile as they wait. And so their chances of having children when they eventually decide to do so are less. Okay. Now that you've listened to me talk, let's have a breakdown of the simple points. Females have careers, hence they are waiting to have children. As they wait, females and males lose fertility, meaning that they are less able to have children. Children are in any case an economic burden to their parents, and this discourages people from having them. There's no need in present-day Scotland to replace dead babies. What that means is the infant mortality rate is very low in our country, and therefore people do not feel the need to have many children in order that some survive. Take care how you phrase that point. It is not enough to simply write it as you see it on the screen in front of you. You would need to make a developed point that people do not feel the need to have large numbers of children in order to overcome a high infant mortality rate. General culture has changed. It's no longer seen as a necessary part of a successful family unit to have children. Contraception is freely available. And, of course, we have family planning and sex education. Now, these are just some of the major reasons why birth rates have fallen. And you need to be prepared to talk about birth rates rising in other countries as well. If you have any questions about this, then come and find me in class or in a revision class. Okay, thanks for listening.